Al Foran here with OOOSCH TV, and I'm here with Mr. Master Knowledge himself, boxing historian, host of The Fight Is Right, Mr. Spencer Fearon. How are you, mate?
Al, I can't keep up with you. You're everywhere, even when you're standing still. So before we even start, you got to give me the Pacino, or I'm not doing it.
The Pacino?
Yeah, you got to give it to me.
Oh, I gotta tell you, you know what? I haven't done much Pacino this week, Spence. I haven't done enough hoo-has. You gotta hoo-ha.
Waiting for the hoo-ha.
You gotta do the hoo-ha.
waiting
That's
for the
it.
hoo-ha.
And let me tell you, it's a hoo-ha of a fight night, isn't it?
It is, especially like because we've got Hamza Saraz versus Adamas, which was for the WBC middleweight crown. You know what I mean? And you do a really, really good former middleweight champion of the world. You know what I mean? In Robert De Niro, who played Jake Lamar. So run it out for me. Run it. Come on, we ain't got all day. Come on.
I'm trying to break down these fights with you, but that's a good fight, and I am looking forward to that fight.
Okay,
It's very good. No, it is. It's really good, and you know Hamza, he's talented. The kid's got raw talent there. He's good.
Yep. And you know what? And then we've got an amazing fight up at heavyweight right now with Martin Bakole doing a last-minute substitution, standing to fight Joseph Parker, who's light, and both of them are my friends, but you know, to fight Joseph Parker, and that's a fantastic fight. So you know what I mean? There's only one real heavyweight at the moment who just fought Jake Paul. You know what I mean? There's Mike Tyson. What would Mike Tyson's opinion be on this fight?
Well, I mean, Bacole's got the power. And them taking the fight on 2 days' notice, I mean, you got to commend them for that. And you got to commend Joseph Parker, too, for taking this fight he's taking it on short notice as well. He's been training for Dubois for such a long time, you know, so it's crazy and it's great. And fair play to Bakole because he saved the fight.
Yeah, he certainly did. You know what I mean? And then when we're moving down the building, we've also, you know, we've got a rematch in Beterbiev-Bivol. And a lot of people don't realize that Chris Eubank Sr., after becoming middleweight champion and super middleweight champion, tried to make a comeback at light heavyweight. So we've got a really good light heavyweight title fight. So what Chris Eubank Sr. have his thoughts on Bivol versus Beterbiev?
Well, for me, you've turned this into a Spencer Fearon and Al Foran interview, haven't you? Not an Al Foran and Spencer Fearon interview. For me, it is such an interesting fight. I said they were like two mechanical machines in the first fight going against each other. They were not human. And that's how I felt. I felt as if they were not of this planet. Two absolute machines. That's how good they are. And we are very excited.
We certainly are. So, like, we're looking at the card.
I'm going to talk as Al now, if that's okay with you.
It's cool. Well, look, you do, you know what I mean? Trust me, Al. Like, I always watch your channel, especially, like, on your Instagram, and like I really enjoy your stuff, and like people don't know, like me and Al have been good mates for the last 3 years, so I just like your stuff, man. I really do.
This card, it's unbelievable. You're a boxing historian yourself.
That's what they say.
Well, you are, and you know Mauricio Suleiman. I interviewed him there the other night, and he said in 50 years' time there'll be kids that will be talking about the Last Crescendo, like the way we talk about the Thriller in Manila. Foreman Ali, all of these classic fights that we talk about and you know and admire so much. What do you think of that?
I hear in all those fights that he's talking about, the Thriller in Manila, right? Which was it? Marcos of the Philippines put that together, yeah. That was like big government backing, money behind it to bring over Joe Frazier, to bring over Muhammad Ali. For Muhammad Ali to defend his world title against Joe Frazier. That was a massive, massive fight. What's happened is this, and when you're talking about like the Rumble in the Jungle, there were massive fights simply because the spectacle was amazing, right? The spectacle was amazing, but then also the fact of like the fight lived up. You know what I mean, Ali beating Foreman in the 8th round in Zaire in October of 1974, it lived up. You know what I mean? His 1975 fight that he had with Joe Frazier, which was their third fight, it lived up. So it's all good putting on the big cards, but if the fights don't marinate with the card, then we're not going to talk about it in 50 years. Yeah. But I think like I was greatly impressed with Bivol Beterbiev, the first fight. It was a great fight, and lots of people left and thought, right, there was an injustice. But if you sit down and watch the fight properly, then I could see why Beterbiev got the win. This time now, Beterbiev's got to take this as like this is round 13, and I'm gonna stick it on you in the same pressure, knowing like what I should have done or what I should have carried on to do, because he was getting to Bivol, but Bivol was very, very clever. Tactically, he's a superb boxer. So there's that. But, you know, if you look at the card within itself, it's a stat card. It's sad what happened with Kid Austin, that he had to pull out, and then Daniel Dubois pulling out. But this is still a fantastic card. And when we're like, wow, we're taken aback, it's a great card. It's really good for like what Turki Al-Sheikh's doing with boxing, because when Daniel Dubois pulled out, he said, who can you get as a replacement? And then he's gone to the bogeyman of bogeymen.
It was a frenzy, by the way. This was during the press conference, and I could see Spencer Brown, Ben Shalom, on and off the phone constantly. It was crazy. It was a whirlwind of a press conference, because a lot of us, the media, were watching what the promoters were doing behind the scenes, you know.
And that's the thing. And so like, if it wasn't for that, then you think, well, who are you gonna go in? So you got the bogeyman, who's the bogeyman to the ever bogeyman, in Mike Bakoli. And I don't even care when they say, but you know, he's 315 pounds. You know, he's 40 pounds heavier than.
Arrived at 2 a.m. as well.
Right, arrived at 2 a.m. and all of these kind of things. But ending of the day, this is called the fight game, right? And he's gonna have that fight in him for those 4 or 5 rounds.
Yes.
And that's what's going to make it interesting to see how Joseph Parker negates his way away from those kind of things. So I'm really, really looking forward to what's going to happen.
Just on that, and you were talking about going back to like the Thriller Manila, all of these massive events that have happened over the years, and I just go back to the likes of like Mayweather and Pacquiao, where that fight was just too late. I think, and we're in an era now where His Excellency, he can put together all of these amazing fights with these fighters at the peak of their powers, and all the politics has gone out of it completely, because the lead up to Mayweather and Pacquiao was years, and there was so much politics involved. And I think it's refreshing to be a boxing fan, and for you who's so passionate about the sport, it must be great for you to see these fights as well.
Do you know what? It's great simply because UFC was taking over boxing. Everybody was on UFC, because we get the fights and all the rest of it, and they fight each other. And all that Turki Al-Sheikh has done is looked on it and said, not all, because it takes a lot of money and you've got to be very savvy. So we're indebted to Turki Al-Sheikh to know, like, here I am, last week I'm in Jamaica. I get a phone call from Spencer Brown of Gold Star. He says, are you coming? And then boom, I'm now in Saudi Arabia sitting down to watch a great card. And not only that, but it's good to be around, like, it brings out boxing people now. So boxing people are coming out. So people who ain't just like for the glitz and glads, but people who appreciate the finer artistry of the game are coming out as well, because you'll see them all walking around now. It's like, it's amazing, because the amount of people want to stop you and talk boxing history, which I've made my name off of that. So it's a great time, and I mean, I'm really enjoying everything that happens, and I want this to last forever. I hope there's some perpetuity to it, but even though nothing good ever lasts forever, but while it's here, let's enjoy every waking moment of it. Do you know what I mean? Seriously, every waking moment, and it's fantastic. Also coming out to Saudi Arabia, you come to Saudi Arabia, and a lot of people go home, and the stereotype that they had it disappears, because you know what I mean. It's actually a really cool country, and that's that. And you know what I mean? Now, I'm going to be a little bit biased because I'm Muslim, but no, I'm not actually, because I come here and the hospitality, the treatment that you get here is second to none.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to get your thoughts as well on the news about Usyk wanting Dubois next.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Because Frank Warren basically said last night, let's make it happen. So,
listen to me. Let me tell you this now. If you saw how Daniel Dubois was looking, I was privy. I saw some film footage which Boxing King Media did. If you saw how ferocious Daniel Dubois looked in the gym, it's sad that he didn't get his opportunity, which is going to happen for tonight. But if you look at Usyk saying, yeah, I want to fight Dubois, because where else is there for Usyk? What else is there? What else is going to bring in that big money fight for Usyk? It would be the Dubois rematch. It would be the fact that the skin between the teeth for Don Charles and the rest of thinking that they got cheated because the body punch was called a low blow, and all of those kind of things they say out. But Daniel Dubois has so greatly improved. And not only that, but he's improved mentally. If you see him now, he's more relaxed, he's more, you know what I mean? He's getting accustomed to the level of where he's at. So we're sitting down now, we're saying like, he's gonna have this massive fight, and hopefully it's gonna happen. And when Usyk's saying, yeah, I want the fight, because Usyk's not stupid, Usyk's saying, listen, let me take Dane Dubois again now before it gets even better.
Yeah, good point. And what about Usyk dropping down weight? He dominated the cruiserweight division. There's an exciting fighter there. There's a couple more fights until he probably gets a shot at Usyk, but Jai Opataya, he's exciting, isn't he?
You know what? If you've ever been around someone and you can feel the aura of destructiveness, it's him. Because when you're seriously, you get a little bit nervy. You're talking to him, you get a little bit nervy when you're around him because he's very intense, a very intensive human being that wants to go out and have a rock. And his last performance out in Australia, that was like a wow, like such a good fighter, man. Such a good fighter.
He's explosive, isn't he?
Yeah. He's dangerously explosive. So but I remember before there was talk about the winner of Baturviev Bivol fighting Jai Opataya, like moving up to cruiserweight.
yeah.
That was a talk. And he's a big cruiserweight as well, and he's very animalistic, and all cruiserweights need to be put on standby for that kid. But he has aspirations of moving up to heavyweight eventually. So it'd be a great addition.
Well, look, Spencer Fearon, always a pleasure, pal. I hope you enjoyed those few impressions. I enjoyed your in-depth analysis. For what do you want to do before I go?
Eddie Murphy, that's what I want.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do that, Spencer. You know what I mean? Man, you know I'm a big boxing fan. I can't wait for this, you know. And that's it. We all excited, you know, and that's it. It's amazing. I'm here with Master Knowledge, Spencer Fearon. And what we do, Spencer, is when we do it at OOOSCH TV, we just do an oosh into the camera. So on 3, 2, 1, oosh.